As you know already, I made a video a while back about the Thomas and Friends season 25 trailer Backlash, and I tried explaining to the haters to just mellow out, chill out, and just let I don't even remember the company that now owns Thomas. Mattel, sorry. I said just let them do what they want, and you people should just give it a chance. And if you don't like it, don't watch it again. But the people that don't want my advice, there's nothing I can't. Yeah, sorry. The people that don't want to take my advice, I don't know what to tell you. And I know lady, Britt Allcroft, and even younger fans, like more newer fans, didn't like the trailer. I still think they should just, go along with it, because it would be kind of messed up if they stayed with CGI didn't and didn't go along with the plan. Because I'm interested in what they're doing. Because, like I said, my time of Thomas ended debatably between seasons 5 and TATMR. I mean, season 6 or TATMR. I mean, I was still collecting. I still had a couple tapes. Right now I only have one tape. James Goes Buzz Buzz, which came with the wooden set behind me. Well, anyhow, sorry, I worked this morning. I appreciate, though, the 200 or so, the more or less 200 views, and 8 likes and 1 dislike, and even 1 person commented telling me their time, and cool. It's just, like I said in the last video, I'm just concerned about the merchandise. Like, for example, one of the stupidest, most ridiculous Thomas and Friends merchandise that was ever made or manufactured in any factory of any country is probably the My First Thomas and Friends brand, where literally the engines are too bulky. They're too like weird faces, big wheels, no couplings, no tracks, no rolling stock. That's what I'm worried about. If season 25, if the merchandise reflects off of season 25's new look, like, all right, I'll give you an example. This is kind of a weird example, but look at this. You got a train here. You got I got the push along Rainbow Pride Toby pulling that coach that came with the Knapford Station push along, and a couple tenders and whatnot. If they stop the coupling system and the rolling stock, like all the engines are just one, and especially my friend Brendan, who's another tanky, another YouTuber, moments ago, he's actually DMing me right now on Instagram, said to me and showed me what they did with the new 2021 releases. The Graffiti Gordon and Graffiti James are tenderless, and I thought that was. I mean, I like the design. I mean, but they're not they're more or less being treated like tank engines now. As such, they're not tank engines. They're tender engines. Actually, they're both mixed traffic engines. That's one thing a lot of you Thomas fans probably don't know. Edward and James are not the only mixed traffic engines. According to Wikia or fandom, Henry and Gordon are also considered mixed traffic engines. But my point is, they're big engines. They're tender engines. They're not tank engines. They're not switchers. Why merge the tenders together? Okay, granted, Henry, for example, Metallic Henry, who was a bitch to find, pardon my language, kids that are watching, at least it's proportioned right. Like, back then, there was these pull back engines where the eyes were like deep behind the face, and it looked weird. I mean, that's the past. I'm over that. I think I had the James, but or even if you go back to the Golden Bear series, the tender was like, shrunken and like crouched together, or like, and it made the engines look bulky. I mean, that's in the past. That's all over with. But if they start making the toys like if they put like, all right, we all know season 8 of Thomas really like toned down the learning level for kids. And of course the outline of the characters is completely ignored and unacknowledged, like Percy, oh, I've never taken the mail before and stuff. Like basically their old counterparts were not acknowledged. The only things that were acknowledged was, the fact that the engines were still themselves. They just it seemed like the show became more immature. I mean, it is an immature show on paper, but it's more than that. I mean, when you stop and think about it, the idea of Thomas the Tank Engine sounds ridiculous. It's a British train with a face that goes around with his mouth doesn't move. I mean, I'm going by the TV series, and just, acts like a human. But it's become the biggest hobby I ever had growing up, and it's still with me. I've never grown out of it, even though my parents used to get on my case about that. It's more than just a show. It's more than just a train with a face, a British train with a face, mind you. It's life, Thomas. He's more popular than Tilly, the little engine that could. And Tilly predates Thomas by about a decade, more than a decade. He's more famous than Tootle. He's more famous than Chuggington. He's more famous than others. That's all I can think of right now. But my point is, Thomas is more than just a kid's show. It's become this huge $1 million industry. And it all came through the brilliant mind of a British clergyman. Rest in peace to Wilbert Audrey. A pure god. He's like the Walt Disney of British children's books and entertainment. He was just a god, no pun intended, being a priest and all. But it was just pure genius what he came up with. I mean, on paper it sounds idiotic, it sounds ridiculous, but it isn't. Thomas is definitely not ridiculous, to me anyways, and to all the YouTubers that have my back, or I have their back. It's more than just that. But this is just a follow-up to what I said a few months back. My point is, just, chill out with season 25. Just let it premiere this fall, this autumn. Give it a chance. You don't like it, whatever. Don't watch it again. I'm probably not, even if I do like it, I'm probably not gonna keep watching it, because, I rarely watch new episodes on YouTube. I stick to the oldies. I stick to the first 130 episodes, the TATMR, and a little bit of season 6. I mean, season 6 is when the tide began to turn. I mean, I used to love season 6. I don't know though. It just feels different. And I know, I think Thomas Wooden Railway or some YouTuber recently, maybe not recently, but I watched a video recently, and they said that they don't like that season 8 gave them the more polished look, but the more simple synopsis of characters and episodes. Because I kind of agree, even though the polished look is nice, where the characters are more cleaner looking, I do agree. I do like the dirtier sets where it looks more like a busy, hard-working set where the crew painstakingly probably hurt their backs bending over so long, setting up the trains and stuff. And as George Carlin says, the cute little toys. So yeah, this is just a follow-up to that video. Hopefully this will get no dislikes, because I didn't say anything bad about Thomas. I thought about it and I felt, on paper, Thomas may sound stupid, but it's certainly not. It is not. It's life. And spoiler alert, those of you who aren't subscribed to my channel, those of you who don't watch, I don't mean to be a copycat, but Train Boy, ever since his birthday, I did get the wind-up streamlining Shooting Star Gordon, but it's not the angry face. I mean, I don't want to say I'm jealous, but he's a cool guy. He's a cool YouTuber. He is so fucking cool. Pardon my language again. But the point is, I am also thinking of getting a tattoo, but not this, not like he got. He got an original. He got the original sketch of Thomas the Tank Engine. Me, it's going to be a surprise if I ever show it on YouTube, if I ever get it, because you know me, I'm always back and forth with tattoos. Those of you who actually watch me, my regular audience. But yeah, Thomas will live on forever, even if season 25 and the merchandise to coincide with it, to promote it, crashes and burns. But you know, nothing lasts forever. Nothing, because like I said in the last video, everybody bitched and cried over season 13 or even 12 when CGI began, and everyone's bitching and crying all over again. And now we're kind of in another transitional period where, you know, there's still merchandise of CGI characters being sold, but it might all go away by fall. I mean, if anything, they'll probably just update the push-alongs and trackmasters if they continue. But if they make, like I said, the one thing I'm worried about is if they make big, huge, bulky characters with like 2 wheels when, I mean, 4 wheels. I mean, for Percy, it's okay because he has 4 wheels. But for engines like Thomas or tender engines like Gordon, Henry, whatever, where they have no couplings, no freight cars, no tracks. And by the way, actually, I'll get back to that. Point is, if all that gets thrown out the window, then yeah, I'll jump on the bandwagon and hate on season 25 because that's got to be the culprit behind the merchandise going down. But what I was gonna say was, have you noticed that they haven't made any Sir Topham Hatt or human characters for a long time? Probably since the Wooden Railway Line, before Wood. Oh wait, no, sorry. They did make a Wood Sir Topham Hatt. What am I saying? But other than that, have you seen like a Trackmaster Sir Topham Hatt or any human character or Push Along? Certainly not Push Along or Minnie, even Minnie. I mean, granted, Minnie would be super tiny. I mean, even though the Earl to human characters are tall, making the engines look like dwarfs, midgets, hobbits. But they probably don't want to do that because if a kid gets a hold of it and swallows it and chokes and God forbid dies, there's going to be lawsuits up the ass and there'll probably be another recall. Kind of like how recently there was, not recently, but this is actually really old. There was a Pokemon commercial, Burger King commercial that sold the Pokeballs, and there was like a recall commercial saying throw them away because they're easy to choke on. You know, and I actually have 2 ideas for Thomas. I mean, because obviously there's 2 fan bases. There's the younger generation who likes what they're doing, even though there's a few who don't, and then there's the classic fans, like the YouTubers that are in their 20s and up, like me. Here's 2 ideas I have. One of them will probably never happen. One should happen. Let me first say the one that should happen. The one that should happen is they should bring back, maybe not exactly like old times, but they should bring back like the Ertles, the classic Woodens, even the take-alongs or take-and-plays. They should do like a throwback series for the old school fans. I mean the younger fans will be like, the fuck are these? Because if I grew up in the 2010s, and I was used to this, and I was so used to the CGI, and I looked at the classic ones, I'd be like, fuck that, I like the CGI better. And the other thing I have in mind now, this is definitely going to be recalled, and it'll definitely have kids choking, unless they do the big, bulky, stupid idea that I hope they don't do. If okay, this is a complete departure from Thomas, but action figures like wrestlers or even Marvel have the removable hands and faces and whatnot. Actually, it's funny. I bought a King Kong yesterday that has removable hands and head. They should have like Thomas toys, even for the newer fans, not just the throwback series, which I have in mind. They should have removable faces so that way the engines, you know, could change their facial expressions. There's 2 reasons why it'll never happen, theoretically. One, they could easily get lost. Well, that's what that. any toy can get lost. And number two, again, if a kid chokes on it. But there is a way to solve that. Just do it for the throwback series. Do it for the old school fans. They should be like an age limit on the box for older Thomas fans. Because I don't think the fans my age are fat headed enough to swallow them unless something's wrong with them, literally, like mentally. But yeah, I just thought I'd make a follow up to that video. And oh, it's cold in here now. But anyhow, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the second part. Hopefully this will get more likes and maybe more comments, and maybe even the big YouTubers like Train Boy or Thomas Wooden Railway will see this, and I'll get some attention from them. Because I comment on a lot of their posts and they don't respond. I mean, they're probably, I mean, they get a million comments, but I don't know. Hear me out. I mean, I'm not trying to reach the ranks of them. I just proving that I'm a respected member of the community, even though I'm one of the more unknown fans, because my channel isn't 100% Thomas. Usually the real big fans, the real big shot channels are just Thomas exclusive. I do other things. I do traveling. I do videos of my pets, gaming glitches, TikTok, and whatnot. So yeah, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this, and if there's a part 3, if there's something I forgot to mention, you know, by all means, check it out. I'll record it with no problem. All right? Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.